Hi. Hello, lovely people. As you can see, I haven't been on much. There's the battling with the health here and the cognitive abilities. But the cognitive abilities seem to be the best in the morning, early morning. So that seems to be where the brain function is the best. So we're going to give it a shot. So if there's any, just ignore any troubles here because we're having troubles here. As I've explained on my TikTok page and Facebook in detail. But it's early morning, so the brain is normally the best. So let's give it a go. What started this? You'll see I reshared a post yesterday. Hi, thank you. I also saw Coach Monarch. There's a young psychic that I've been following. We follow each other on here. And he saw this, but the one he saw, which is a bit strange, you can see there's a lot of this going on. People, it's been doctored. So the voice on the video, you can see it is not in sync with the lips, the energy. And he picked that up. That's what he was saying. This video is a fake, and he doesn't like Bashar, trust Bashar anyway. So that's just how he feels. But that video was, if you watch the video, you can see the words and things were not in sync. So it definitely was filtered. But then I came across another one saying exactly the same thing, but you could see it was genuine. The energy and the words and everything was all matching up. Anyway, it was about the elections coming up in America. So I reshared that one. It was interesting. So obviously there's different perspectives, different beliefs, different levels of whatever you believe in. It's an illusion, this reality, this separation story. And luckily you've seen that. There's nothing here, as they say, non-duality. But looking at the political movements here and how things have changed, especially... Hi. So we are here. We seem to have got off course a little bit from love, from unity, from peace. The movement out there, what's going on out there, they seem to have got a bit sidetracked. And people are, as I say, engaging too much in social media and all of this sort of, and not looking. You're being influenced by whatever, and the media and what everybody tells you. There's too much influence going on. That's the whole idea of social media, especially TikTok, since the changes happened in the last couple of months. It's the light worker content and the love, the peace is all disappeared off TikTok, basically. So TikTok's become a propaganda wing, political, paid, whatever. It's as I mentioned, very unpleasant. What I'm seeing on the For You page is very unpleasant. It's very divisive, it's very shit-stirring, it's very all negative really. And you can see, you've watched this movement grow when it started and how it's divided people, countries, politics. Wow, it's, so when it started, everything just went. And then this whole started fighting, Europe started fighting. They divided Europe, then they're dividing this, they're dividing that. So this whole movement is just being divisive. It's been very divisive. It's divided people, divided countries, when there wasn't any of that, the European Union. Yes. So there was all this sort of thing going on. Anyway, and now this story, this thing I reposted, Bashar's comments on the elections, which shocked a lot of people. Anyway, so that's up everybody's. It's an objective thing, and as I say, it's an illusion. So you are creating this bubble that you are seeing because you are nothingness dreaming, as they say. It's a dream. So there's different dreams, as some people believe, different timelines. There's different timelines. So, this is what they all talk about. You're seeing. Depends on what people, but what I'm seeing is people are forgetting. Before any war started here, you foresaw this conflict was going to start. And I made a call out for meditations for peace. So few people joined. It was so sad. And even this movement that was so called for peace and everything else that's going on, political movements, nobody was ever interested in doing mass meditations. Have you noticed? When you want peace, real peace, you're going to call and you're going to make actions of peace. You will not increase your military budget. You will not increase money going into your military. And our history proves it. The bigger you've got military, the more spending you've got into the military. Show me how much. And in so-called fighting for, you can't fight for peace. Democracy doesn't work. How much peace have you actually got? Peace. Have a look after the Second World War. Do a search on Google. Type in all the wars I think people have forgotten that have taken place since the Second World War. More people have died since the Second World War, and more wars have taken place, and more civilians than ever. And what have we done? We've so when people talk, if you really want peace, you feel it, you talk about it, you promote it, you share it, you think it, you feel it. That's what I say. This is what saddened me. See, it's not, there is no, that is peace. That is real. Someone really wants peace. You are going to take actions, your words, your speech, your everything is towards peace. It's not about them blaming, hate, divide, us, they good, they bad. There's none of that. That doesn't make peace. A child will tell you if you want to sit down and have a negotiation. There is such a thing as peace. If you really want peace, you do something about it. Your actions match up. We do not create peace by making our militaries bigger. Never have. Your own history will show you that. Okay, it's never going to get better. You have not got better by any war on democracy whatsoever, created any more peace at all. So the more you have fought for peace, the worse it has got. The more anyone tells you they need to make more military spending, grow your military in the name of peace, that's not peace. Those that are wanting peace will make the actions towards peace. Will start, doing like we did in the 80s. Let's do away with weapons of destruction and treaties and all the things they want pulled out of. There's actual, real, you know what I mean? You vote for peace. You will not abstain. You won't vote against any form of peace. You will vote for peace. Switzerland has managed for how long? Never to have a war. Never. It's a choice. You see, it's a choice. We're forgetting, like your behavior is a choice. It's a choice to go to war. It's a choice to fight. Switzerland and Austria have stayed out of all the wars, and that is choice. They have a military, but they don't put their money or their priorities. Your money shouldn't be going. Your people actually need it. Your education, your children could do with it. Your homeless, poverty, food. Then the amount of money spent on military, it's just crazy. It just kept growing and growing. So under the name of peace, is never achieved peace. So we've also got to be honest and not be so. It doesn't matter who what. It's just so simple. It's simple. 1 and 2. Let's not be deluded here, because you really are. So if your countries and your leaders want peace, trust me, they will negotiate, they will talk, they will vote for it, they will not increase any, they will not increase the aggressive, they will not go around trying to divide and blame and fight and things. It's simple. It's simple. The way you'll behave too. You seek compromise, you seek peace, you seek to reduce the things. You'll work to join humanity, just, And this is what I say, this is what saddened me back then, because all these meditations, when you saw this coming, and you asked for these live meditations, people to join for peace, world peace, how many? So few people joined these meditations that you ask. And if there really were, this is what would be going on. There are groups that have done it. They would be really calling for meditations and world peace and having a day of peace, of prayer. We all want to, So listen, what is actually coming out of people's mouths, what they're telling you they so-called want, what they're doing. Are they actually doing it? How do you see your leaders saying, let's have peace? Okay, anyone initiating a meditation, a prayers, a thing for world peace? A world peace day, let's sort this out, everybody, No. Look who's voting, you see. It doesn't matter what they say, the actions line up. You can't fight for peace. They're two opposite things, as he says. You have to be it, see it, think it, talk it, live it. So we have seen a lot of this going on. A lot of it's very divisive, and you can see the world has got more and more separated, more and more divided, more and more. There's so much. If it's not immigrants, then it's transgender, then it's this and that. There's an attack on all people, and most vulnerable actually, and most interesting. The ones that are being attacked in society are the most vulnerable. Absolutely unbelievable. Are you? Okay. It's amazing. It's just wow. It's amazing. Yeah. And that says, so you've got to look at what's actually going on, take a step back, because people seem to be very influenced by what they're being told and fed, and all kinds of videos and news and things, and not actually taking a step back. And it's not, you see, what you're being told and what actually reality are not telling up the behavior. See? So it does baffle me that there's no effort out there, conscious effort for world peace by lots of people at the moment. It's just the way it's venting, a lot of shadows coming up. Because if you did, you really would do that. It's not hard to do that. If these people were really advocating for peace, they would be pushing it, and these movements, and let's meditate for global peace days, this and that. A world day of peace, one day where the entire planet comes together and we all meditate or pray, however, whatever you believe in or think, or affirmations, whatever you believe and feel. If let's see, any leaders would be great, any political, any countries or any movements, let's see that. That's genuine, that's truth, that is really going to get you somewhere, and that is really meaning what you're saying. We don't say we want peace, but we're going to keep growing our military and putting more money. That is completely contradictory. It's delusional. And your own history will show you that. The more there's no fighting for peace. It does not work that way. It's just, yeah. Whoever came up with that idea, I haven't a clue. It's very disconnected, unconscious behavior. So there we are. You're watching a lot of this going on, so it's just spreading more and more divide and hate at this movement, and because people are not switching off a week, switch off all social media. It would be good if it actually just went off by itself for a week. All media, all internet went down for a week. That would really assist, I think, humanity greatly in their movement towards peace, because it would give people a week of absolute reflection and quiet. Peace. You really need to look at it, and you yourselves, you see, before you get dragged into this emotionally, say, group thinking and emotional whirlwind. You saw what happened in Germany, how easy that is to happen. People are forgetting that, you see. You saw how very easily the same movement happened in Germany, the same speeches, the same movement happened in Germany, the same type of thing. And they all got together very much. And people, as I say, were unaware. Before they realized it was too late. They were not even aware that what was going on in their behavior. It just got completely out of hand. You see, when you start these so-called movements online and these stories and everything else, this is what happens. You get people to buy into the whole thing. Everyone's on board without any proof, any facts, and there we are. And you get yourselves into real trouble, as you saw in Germany. You see. Anyway. So now, I say, this video of Bashar about the American elections has caused a big stir. There we are. But, yeah, we do need to see that, because that was really where everyone was going and the way everything was moving. And there's been a concerted effort in this year, especially politics. People paying for adverts for you to see things that are not promoting peace. So all your peace-loving tarot cards, this, that, whatever, has been removed. The normal person, everything has been flooded now, is fighting, is war, is politics, massively being pushed down your throat on social media, which is not good, not positive. And if you participate so much and you see so much of it, you are not, you see, the story is going, that there's no... People are so lost in the story and are not seeing through the story at all. So, a definitely concerted effort, which is so sad here. When I remember doing that back then, and I asked for people, please, let's do meditation, send peace, let's do, and a lot of these videos when it comes to these global things, not many showed up, even for the planet, and this for healing the planet. We've got to stop. We've got to start thinking for ourselves. Because Social media now has become dangerous, and you can see that. Especially if you're not able, the videos and voiceovers are being faked. There's a lot of manipulation and intimidation on social media. Social media has been used now to manipulate people, and especially the youngsters, because you're young, you're emotional, whatever else, and it's not a good thing. Yeah, that's what I say. You saw this movement, so people really need to get out of the group. These stories and movements and beliefs and propaganda and nonsense, and it's like almost like the Greeks or the Romans did, entertain them, throw rubbish and entertainment. There's so much drama out there. Oh my gosh, who did that and they did this. People are so lost in this nonsense and gossip and Hollywood stories and whatever else, and I'm just getting distracted and lost. Yeah, and none of it is productive, positive, helping, doing anything that is doing of any good, you'd see. So there we are. Definitely would like to see some of our world leaders and people doing this. Yes, there are. I see in the UN, which no one watches, voting and calling for peace and this and that. There's always countries that are against it or don't or abstain. Why? If you want peace, if you really want peace, why aren't you voting for it? Why aren't you doing something about it? You see, you can't fight your way to peace. It doesn't work that way. And history is just an absolute proof of that. So no, we're not going to get peace by making our militaries bigger and spending more money on them and any of that. That's delusional. And that's unawakened consciousness. But anyway. So let's try and see, asking for people to look at yourselves. Look at yourself and your behavior, and what are you saying, and what are you thinking, and what are you spreading, and what are you feeling? Are you talking about peace? Are you sharing? Are you sharing that love and encouraging it and telling people, and you know what I mean? So let's try, because remember, this is an illusion. There's only one here. There's only one that exists. You don't. There's no separate one. It's an illusion of you and anyone. That's completely nonsense. There's no separate one here whatsoever. So that is yourself. Whoever you hate, it is source. Whoever you fight, it is source. Yeah, it's source. All is the one. There's no other. How can you not love, or how can you hate anything that is you? No matter what. No matter what they do and are, you can't hate them. You can't judge them, because it is you. It is literally. If you have seen through the illusion, and as the non-dual or as good as anyone, it is true. Bible tells you there's only one infinite everywhere. Yes, that is it. Absolutely true. There is one that exists. So you are actually hating yourself. We know this is an unawakened behavior, but yeah. And at the moment, our leaders, our politics are being led by unawakened people. They're not in a higher consciousness. They're not even awake. They're not even halfway there. They are unawakened. They're not promoting peace, love, unity, higher consciousness, connectivity, sustainability. Let's all work together, love the planet, the planet's alive. No, not at all. You see, what are they sharing? Yeah. There we are. So we got to just take a step back, take some breath. Is it doing good for our planet, our animals, any of this? No, nothing. None of this will either. No planet, no war, no weapons are going to help the planet, help the pollution, help any of this stuff. Any of it. They're unawakened. They're fighting for toys, money, cars. They're fighting over things, over illusionary things that don't even exist, actually, because there isn't any. It's objects and control and over stuff. That's what I'm saying. Completely unawakened. So, and they are force-feeding humanity, social media, with negativity, with fighting, with divide, with politics, with news, with you're being pushed down, literally everywhere. especially on here in the last few months since the changes. It's not good, it's not positive. Right, there is no good, no bad, no divide, no wrong, no right. There's only one here. Listen to what you see. Switch off. Hold love, see love. Ask for that, call for that. You know, even if yourselves, you know, or maybe ask your leaders and start pushing that movement around, which you did, because you are the masses. This is a thing. But at the moment, your voices are being drowned out, and you are shouting their slogans. Everyone's running around shouting slogans. Oh, this, that, you know, whatever that happened here. This is what you're doing. It's brainwashing in a way. Thank you. I don't get too excited there because that's not we are battling. This is why we're on this morning, because if you watch my post, there's health issues. Anyway, there's cognitive problems happening here. So that's why the morning we're doing it, so the brain is more fluent and we can talk easier without, Anyway, just what's happening. That's it. And that's also good. There's nothing wrong with that either. That's also fine. That's also source. It's also an illusion. It's a story. It's just what is, you know. There's nothing, and that is so true. So we are forgetting this. And otherwise you're going to get, so don't be fooled like what happened in Germany. Don't be fooled into that. You think you're doing right and peace and, you know, you're going to make your country the biggest and the strongest. Germany thought the same thing. They were going to get the biggest and strongest, whatever, invincible, you know, like say when the Romans, you know. It's an illusion. Nothing is, no one is. And it's, as I say, the end of the times now to choose. Are you choosing the peace, the light? There's many times. What are you choosing? Which version of this illusion do you want to experience? Death, destruction, war, peace, unity, love, a healthy planet. Planet that's not poisoned, polluted, you know, used for profit. This is what I say. This is unawakened, where everything's all about objects, about the money, the things, the cars, the power, the control. This is what it's about. You know, the unawakened will try and hang on to control. It's about control, about power. It's an illusion of power and control, where only one has the control and power here. And as that only one, whatever you want, you shall get. So if you choose that, this is what you will get, your own demise. You see, you can choose your own destruction. Yes, this is obvious. It's free will. You're creating this. You can choose your own destruction. You can choose war, separation, divide. We're going to be like Germany. You think you can be the biggest and strongest country and whatever. Whatever, you know, you sold to buy into. And you can see this same thing happening again. But people are not aware of this. But anyway, there we are. It is a choice. So do some reflection. This is seriously needed. People need to pull off the social media and reflect. Because without realizing that they have so bought into this and they are so hating their neighbor and this guy and that immigrant and this guy, this transgender person and that one, and there's just blame, hate, divide, judgment. There's so much of it. When it was going like this, and now that, they say, trying to pull you back to the opposite, to keep you into the, no, they're not, no, they are. They are in the illusion. There is only one that exists here. You do not. You are it. And if you are unawakened, you don't realize you are source. Just taking a form, you know, you have actually got a face, but that's also, there's no real face and separation, separate people here. So as that one, you are choosing this. So if you want peace, speak it, share it, promote it, do things, take the actions that are of peace, not of them, he's right, they're good, they're bad, this or that. There's no divide. That's an illusion. There is no two. There is no duality. Because the so-called dark are source. You've told them they're playing the role because you're saying they are. The dark is there because you say it is, because you are calling it dark, because as the one, you are claiming it to be so. You are creating it. You see, you are creating that illusion. There's no separation here at all. There's no dark, right, light, good. You are choosing that. You are creating that divide, hate, separation, and blame, whatever. It's an illusion. And it's still the same one. Yeah, us, them. It's the same thing. There's no us and them, exactly. So, those that are unawakened, even what they are, and this is, even science will tell you this is, there's no physical matter here. Doesn't matter. They're deeply in it and chasing it, and their toys and money and wealth and control. So they are having the loudest voices right now. Yeah, it would be a blessing to lose internet completely for a week at least. If the planet completely lost internet for a week, what a blessing that would be for humanity. And to give people some time to breathe, because their minds are being filled with divide, blame, hate, division, illusion, complete. Let's see some love. Watch the words. We say we want peace, but what are we doing? You see, I can say I want peace, but I'm going around saying, here's an asshole, they're wrong, they're right, I'm going to increase my thing, and I'm going to make more weapons and grow my military. No. That's not, that is not congruent. You see, that's not how it goes, and your own history will show you that. You have not created peace, but exactly the opposite. You have just been at non-stop war. The planet has been at war, literally, non-stop, since the Second World War. Go and look it up, how many wars we've had. All over the world, just constantly. And the more you see, so the more you focus on war and military, the bigger it will grow, the more the problem will grow. As everyone knows, what you focus on is what you get, what you feed your energy into. But your leaders are asleep and don't even know this. And, you know, whatever. It's a program, so in a program, and it's repeating itself. So keep thinking that, you know, and that's what they see. Everything's a threat because it's within. You see, they're claiming, and it's a never-ending cycle, because as the one, if you claim that is your enemy, that is wrong, that's this, you will keep creating it. Yeah. Because you are the creator of it. It's a complete illusion. There's no world out there in any of this. Anyway, there we are. This is what is happening. So people got to step back. I see a lot of people being sucked into it, and blame and divide and us and them and good and bad. There's no such thing as good and bad. There's no light, there's no dark. There's only source. There's only the divine, ever present, omnipresent, everywhere. All that is source, however. The creator, whatever you wanted, that is it. Hi. Okay. Well, life is just here. That's what I say. There are a lot of things going on at the moment. The health here has yeah taken a turn, and the cognitive abilities are not going. So in the morning it's easier. The brain seems to be able to function much better early morning. I suppose the energy wise seems to be the best time. Wow, we've had some bad days where it's just not, yeah, as I say, my Facebook, I talk about it. That's what's happening. We'll see what happens. There's surrender here. There's no, you know, that's it. It's just what's happening here. So the brain seems to be having problems functioning. Getting energy. Anyway. So there we are. There we are. It's you know, the body, no body, it's what I'm saying. The bodies, this is an illusion. They dissolve. Actually, they just dissolve. You wake up from the dream, as Bashar said. It's true. There is nobody here. If you've seen through it, if you've got to some things where it's actually, showed you or slipped through and whatever on the path, you'll see it. It's actually quite mind-blowing. It's really difficult. That's what I say. For anyone to believe that this is not real, you cannot. The eye does not believe it, because the eye is the illusion. But if it starts falling and you start seeing it, if you take, as I said, the Guru, you will actually see it, and it's like, wow, it is a shock. It's a very good illusion, a very convincing illusion. So even if science is telling you there's no matter, nobody is behaving like they believe it anyway. But it's true. So there we are. We can create a very unpleasant illusion. And I see at the moment, they're trying very hard to hang on, and they're dragging people back. So the movement and momentum was going for unity, love, peace. It was spreading hugely on social media, on everywhere. It was unity, love, oneness, whoa, whoa, as they were saying. And they have now, with the ads and money, really suppressed that and the algorithms. So instead of now, where you were all seeing a lot of whoa, whoa, love, peace, unity, oneness, meditations, it's almost, have a look, just reflect. That's what I'm saying. This is why I'm doing this live. Please reflect and see what's happened to your social media lately. This is all you saw on your social media. Was one, love, this, that, yeah, there's going to be peace, all these kind of things people talking out. How much of that content do you see now? Do you see? So this is why people are not realizing what's happening. Shh. You have been flooded and force-fed the exact opposite. So you will forget about unity, love, peace. You know what I mean? It's not positive. And that aspect, and you're not taking a lot of people are not stepping back and realizing they actually got caught into this thing, as the Germans did. Normal people can do strange things, and before they realize it, which they say thought was normal, and when they were shown the truth of what was going on, they were horrified. There's denial, you see, that they could do anything wrong, they were doing wrong, and their leaders, there was complete denial because they were so brainwashed. That when they were shown what had happened in their own country, there was such disbelief and horror. That's how, So you've got to be aware of the words and the actions. So we can't say one thing, but we're not, it's not telling up, and people are literally not seeing this. Because you are so being flooded, your brain is so being kept busy with stories and posts that it's just constant. This is idea bombardment, that you are not getting this. This is not. See, telling up. What I've been told and fed as truth, as peace, as love is not the fact. There's a disconnect there. So there we are. Let's relight that whole thing. And I know on social media, because you don't own it and you haven't got control over it, have you noticed? And the algorithms, no matter how much you try, your For You page is not what you like, and it's not in your control, if you notice. So that's just what it is, because people are paying. Same with all these platforms, it doesn't matter. But you can call out for that. So among yourselves, among your own groups, among your people, among your friends, among your leaders, ask for that. Let's start doing that. Let's start seeing a day of world peace, a prayer. One day. Ever do you see anyone out there, any media, any leader, any politician calling for one day, let's all get together, and asking for one day of absolute peace? Everybody. Complete comes to a standstill, the whole world, and everybody sits down, prays, meditates, whatever they do, come together for one day. We have World This Day, World Labor Day, World Women's Day, all this kind of bullshit. But how come we don't have a World Peace Day, where literally this is the aim? Nobody works, it's a day off, and you're all going to come together in the name of peace. do something, not just, oh, you know, there we are, we'll call it world peace. It's just a name and it's on the internet, but absolutely nothing happens. You go to work, same story carries on. You see, this is when you actually are you seeing a congruent, something going on here, it's all tallying up. It doesn't say, oh, we got World Peace Day. No one even, no, most people aren't even aware it happens. Why? Because your day is the same thing carries on, your media is the same. You don't see it. There's no call for it. There's no a day off. We're all going to meet together. We're all going to pray together, have a mass march for world peace. Your leaders, do you ever hear your leaders calling for that? Has anyone ever heard a politician or leader calling for that? A march. We're calling this a day of peace. We're all going to get together. Let's have a mass. They have the media under control to have let's mass the whole news. You know, we can have a day of silence. We have the Queen's speech. Everyone hears that one, no problem. So let's have a thing for peace, where your leaders are broadcasting, saying, praying, calling out for it. Then you will know who's for real peace and who's not. That is peace, people. But if your leaders are unawakened, it needs you can still, you see. You can be it, hold it, feel it. You have that energy. You know that your energy and your intent and your things tips it because it's your reality in the first place. So you can create a world peace. There are billions of people and very few politicians and leaders, if you look at the numbers. See, nothing and no one has control as the one, because it's the one, and there is no good and bad. That is a complete illusion. There's no dark and light, or good and bad. That is the illusion. There's only one here. So there we are. Hold that peace. Don't give up. Don't, but just be aware this is what's going on. That you can change it by start demanding and pushing for the opposite. Because when they see enough is coming from the people, if you notice, they do change. Even if they mouth it, they will, So maybe the people can actually call for this. I know there are people marching for peace, yes. But I don't see people writing to the MPs or whatever else. Yeah, we can ignore it, switch it off, boycott social media. There's many things people can do. They saw that with Facebook. They lost a huge amount of money. They could drop. The public are able of collapsing anything. They can collapse the banking system in a few days. Any business, if they completely stop buying, withdrew, put their money out or whatever. Say if nobody bought from Amazon for 1 week or did anything on Amazon, went onto it, paid, Amazon would collapse. Any business would do that because you have that much power. It's reliant on you and your money and you watching and you're listening, you see. People know they have that. So why I'm here is just to make people aware that they're not realizing that they themselves are buying into this divide, hate and blame. That's why. You are seeing people have bought into the divide, and that is not healthy, and they're not realizing it. They are parroting slogans and things and not realizing you're buying into it. All right, so just look at yourself. Okay, my actions, my thoughts, my words, are they of peace, of unity, of love? Because that is what exists. You can continue to create the same old thing, or you can change your creation. This is why they say it's the end of times. It's a choice. Do you want to continue with the same cycle that you so-called the story has been on of destruction and war, fight, for how long? Believing that they're separate and there's someone else and an illusion, or do you want to create a new story? Which one is of love, of thriving, of this beautiful, healthy planet, people, this, that, love. There's that one there as well for sale. Because as the creator, you create. You'll get your choices. There we are. Yeah. Yes, but of course you see. Yeah. And then we can do. You're getting forms of the exact opposite. A lot. They're being pushed and promoted. That's what I'm saying. You see, it's being used, the internet. it's being dominated by the opposite, by war, divide, hate, blame, negativity. This is what your media is really being flooded with. Your posts, your social media is being, it's very negative. So step back, okay, from that toxicity. All right. There we are. Understand your leaders are not conscious. So there we are. But over that, so don't, there's no them as well. Whoever they are standing there, conscious or not, they're still the one. And you can still love it as the one. It doesn't mean you have to listen to it or believe it or buy into it or follow it or vote for it or any of that stuff. Just be aware that is the one playing that. Because those still believe in the dark and the hate and the blame and they're good, whatever. So there we are. They're creating it themselves. They're creating the darkness, the hate, the blame, the divide, the war, and someone to fight. You want an enemy? Well, there we are. Source is going to give you one. Because it's your illusion. You can create whatever. You can carry on. So I'm saying they've been doing it for how long? It's always somebody else. And the next one, then it's them. And it's like, hello, we haven't copped on yet. This is just not working. And there's been never-ending wars since the Second World War. Please go and Google it. That might give you maybe a wake-up, a shake that you need. Go and look at all the wars we've had since the Second World War, and you'll be amazed. You've forgotten how many civilians. It has not stopped. So you're never going. You're going to look for an enemy. You will always find one because you are creating this illusion. And if you're calling them, there we are. It will keep coming. So choose what you want to create now as the world's, as this illusion now goes apart. What do you want to, if you want to see them as timelines, if you want to see them as reality, as truth, beliefs, which one do you want to be on? Which one do you want to experience? One that is not polluted, where humans are not used. There's no control, greed, corruption, there's love, there's empathy, there's compassion. What do you want? Because I think it even says in the Bible, all are born equal. Not born because there's no illusion, but yes, all are created equal. Because they are source. A source, this is, as if you listen to non-dual appearing, literally it's true. They all empty the bodies. There's no one in them. They all source. So all are born, however you want to see it, if you believe this is, you're born or whatever. An illusion, you definitely are. Story's very real, actually. It's amazing that's why I say it's a shock when you see through it, because it is so real. Well, it seems so real, this illusion, this experience. And when you see through it, it's a hell of a shock. Because you're like, oh. And then you understand why these gurus went to go live in caves, because they were like, what's the point? None of it's real. So why do you want a house and a car? Because they don't exist. It's a big shock. And it's paradoxical. It's quite wow. A mind bender when you actually, are shown that this is not what you think it is. Ew. It's very, the mind did not take that one easily. Anyway. So there we are. Understand you are at that crossroads and you get to choose. All right. But there is this huge propaganda, brainwashing, groupthink stuff going on like Germany had, just starting up the same movement of, they are and us and who's the, somebody's out to get me. That's delusional. There's a lot of delusion out there because the shadow is, as I say, the light is really aggravating it. It's got very loud lately. But it's an illusion. That one is source. All are created equal, born equal, and that is factual. Doesn't matter what they are. If they're healthy, if they're fit, if they're disabled, what color, what shape, what thing, they are source. The flower is source. The bed is source. The divine, everything. So that would be nice to see a world where we are treating everything as equal. Doesn't matter how much money they have, don't have, what they look like, what they think, believe. Everything is that. Everything that is loved and respected and treated equally with the same respect and love and dignity. It's such a simple policy to follow. Treat others as you want to be treated. But if you're have problems. As I say, what you see, how you see things is delusional. You know, if you see everything as an enemy and as a threat, well, then there we are. You know, that's how you perceive the world. So you don't have to buy into everybody else's delusions and pictures and stories and projections. Okay. Anyway, so let's see love. Let's ignite this, and don't fall for words that don't match peace. If you want peace, you will talk it, you'll share it, you will encourage it, you will speak it, you will vote it. You see, you will act like it. You don't do anything that is in the opposite. You're not going to fight someone to gain peace, because it doesn't happen. The peace happens when the fighting stops. Or there's no intention to fight. You see, there's an understanding that all are created equal. All are it. All are born as it, appear as it. Here we are. And there's no judgment either on those that choose a path that is not. It's still source, you see. That's what I'm saying. That is true peace, that is true love, that is true understanding. So you can see they're not, and this is what they believe and feel and things. But there we are, leave them to be. And if we just left them to be themselves, they would just, whoever wants to pick a fight with them, they'd find someone, I'm sure, maybe, to fight with. Or they'd disappear anyway. They're going to disappear from your reality. You see? So, there we are. You don't have to include that in your reality. So, yeah, well, it would be lovely, wouldn't it? Let's see some leaders, politicians, people, spiritual people, whoever. Let's see them call for Global Peace Day, a day of stop everything and let's have a sit down, let's meditate, let's pray, let's whatever. That would be fantastic. That is a good sign. Those are leaders you kind of want, yeah, right, you're on the right track, yeah. And then not carry on tomorrow with this opposite thing again. If we're not talking about wording. Yeah, we want peace. I'm going to be for peace, but I want to get my military stronger. And he's a this and they're bad and whatever. No. That's delusional. That's illusion. That is someone who's unawakened. That is not, that's not even slightly awake, but that's still divine, unawakened thinking. The character still believes it's real, and everything is real. So I want to control everything. And be the richest and the most powerful. But you don't even exist. It's quite funny, actually. So I said, there's peace. So let's spend peace and love and compassion. All right. Just see them. Switch off. Stop listening. Stop letting your heart be... yeah. As the poor Germans did. Okay. You don't have to allow the hate, blame, ugly nonsense to in. You don't have to accept it. You don't have to play with it. You don't have to sing with it. You don't have to join it. There'd be one person, shouting and hating everybody all by themselves in the playground in the end. Because nobody then, if you didn't want to join and listen... Can you imagine if I wanted to go stand in a field and start, everyone would just walk away. That's how easy it is. Just walk away. We're not interested in listening to you or hate and blame and this and that and whatever. See, it's like kids in a playground. Anyway, there we are. Just be aware that your media is very toxic at the moment. Very, very toxic. And that is not healthy. And it's best we actually don't. I was thinking as well, I'm like over it now. You can scroll, you can scroll a lot, and if you're lucky, you get a few people, and then a few days you'll see nothing, and then maybe I'll see 2 or 3 posts, of light workers. You have seen such a dramatic change on social media and media of any kind of, healthy content, uplifting, peace, promoting peace, love, unity, oneness, clean earth. Because it happens slowly, you just haven't noticed it, but it's actually disappeared. They have done almost everything to eradicate the light worker movement or this whole, off social media. Because it was spreading. It was the most viral thing. And they have stopped that. It was the biggest, it was growing big time, the awakening. And they have done everything to damper that and stop it. And you do not see it anymore on social media. It was huge. You think about it, years ago, how big this awakening movement was. It was the most uplifting, positive thing. And what did they do? Start war and carry on and, and try, yeah. And you have been pushed and fed everything but the opposite. So be aware. Maybe you just need a bit of a reality check. People need to say, whoa, what's happening here? Okay, wow. We are being manipulated here. And offered, to join in the fight and blame and hate and separation. Look what's happening. Since this whole movement started, Europe's broken up. This is broken up. I mean, there's just fighting, and it's just this lot of fighting. They're now breaking up. He's leaving. It's just getting more and more divided. Countries are getting more divided. They're pulling out now. He's going there. And people are like, you see, it's because you're listening to it, because we're allowing it in. Airtime. To dominate. Anyway, there we are. So I've decided now I'm going to not be scrolling on here anymore because it's just ugly. I don't like it. I'll come on maybe. Let's see how we manage. If it's called whatever, and do a live or share as I feel okay to share. I'll share on TikTok. But I don't want to scroll on here anymore, or even use even any of them. It's just the scrolling on your social media has become unpleasant. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. As I say, there's issues here with the health and cognitive abilities. They're not playing along. So sometimes it is difficult. But anyway, that's why we're doing it now, while we can have a congruent conversation and remember what we are saying, and the words are coming out pretty much okay. It's good. Oh, really lovely. Yeah, we do need some of that, don't we? That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Please understand your leaders are asleep. Big time. That's why I say I think this is why this happened, because this whole awakening, love, unity, oneness, movement, awakening, it was huge. It was growing so fast, and that became to those a threat, because we don't want unity, love, peace, sharing, joy. Yeah, obviously not, because they're unawakened. We want to keep our things. They believe everything is real, and the car is real, the money's real, and they are real. and that person is someone else. It's a person, and they're not source, and they're not, they're absolutely not the same one. It's the same one, appearing as everyone. There is no separate one. The bodies have different personalities and programs, but there's no separate Joe and Jane and Mary. That's bullshit. There's no separate anyone here. Anyone existing, actually, besides it. Very few have seen that. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, exactly. There's one. The divine is shouting hate. There's one standing up there unknowingly knowing it's the divine shouting hate, because those have created it believe there's someone to hate and bad and good. And there's the one up there calling for peace. They're all the same one. Literally. This is what's not grasped. There we are. So this is why love thy neighbor as thyself was the reason why that was shared. And all are created, are born equal, yes. True, truth, very true, very true. Nothing is not. In the eyes of the divine, nothing is so-called eyes, because there's no separate. It's all it. So it loves itself. If it's the grain of sand, if it's Joe Soap, if it's Joe Blogs, if it's the guy that hates everybody down the road, or if it's the one that's the most loving kind, all is it. Unconditionally loving, you can create what you want. So please be aware of what you are choosing, unwillingly, maybe unconsciously, to create. This is all this is about. What are you creating? What are you thinking? What are you sharing? What are you, believing? because it cannot exist if you don't believe it. If you believe there's an enemy, it will always be there. You will source, it gets bored with the same game, so it will just create a new enemy. Have you not noticed? Constantly. So if you always think you've got an enemy, you've got to protect yourself, well, you're going to keep finding them coming. So as long as you keep, that you're going to wonder why you never find peace, because you keep investing in war, and the opposite. Oh yeah. Anyway, it's all same one too. Amazingly, just wow. There we are. So, yeah, let's lose the internet for 1 week completely, globally. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Give the people a break. Let them get out. No. Anyway. So let's see how, all our world leaders and spiritual leaders call for world prayers, world peace, a day of nothing, a day of no work. Let's stop the world completely for 1 day and come together. How hard is that? For love, for peace, for unity, for prayers, for, community. That would be so nice. Yeah. Yeah, of course, but it doesn't matter. As I'm saying, the unawakened, doesn't matter what they think. It's just, so I say, even that you can't, you realize there's no hate. How can you hate? If you really know what that person is, you can't hate them. Enemy or not, you think they're your enemy. Well, they won't have an enemy. There we are. The whole enemy story falls flat on its face when you really know who you are. There's no enemy. Ooh. If you want one and believe it, you're creating it. You will keep finding it. It will never go away. You are making them. Because you are saying there's such one that exists in the first place. And there is not. Yeah. It's just you. Everything is it. Everything. So how can you hate a part of yourself, you see? That is you. That is you. There's nothing that exists that isn't it. That's the unawakened part. Shame. Okay. My live wants to give me a puzzle to play now. Who knows? All right, lovely people. I'm going to go now. There we are. All right. I need to get going and I want to try and walk now. Because the mornings are the best times for me. The body and everything functions, the best in the morning. Thank you. Well, that's what I say. There's surrender here. Whether there's wellness, there's health, there's not. At the moment, there's not. So that's also, that's what's happening. You're not grasping onto that or, or fearing that, Here, there's been a rapid cognitive decline. The brain seems to be not getting energy. It's whatever, in the body. But that's what's happening. That's what's happening, and you're not going to buy into fight that as well. You understand that? You don't attach. It's just there's love, there's acceptance, there's peace with all. Because, you're not in the body, there is no body either. Anyway, that's another whole story. So, no one leaves with their body, if you think so. Nobody leaves this story, illusion, dream, life, whatever you believe it's real. Nobody leaves here alive. Nobody. There's no body that can go from this dream because it doesn't exist. It's a dream anyway. So, why won't, if it's just about when it goes, people fear. Because they believe. You see, if you so believe you're a real person and this is a real body, you fear death. That isn't a problem here. We know we're not the body. So, and we don't fear the death, or we don't fear the death of the body because that's an illusion. We know that already. It's been shown so many times here that there's no one in the body. We know that science even tells us that. There's no attachment to the body because it's not it's an appearance, and there we are. So even with that now, there's peace with what's happening here with the health. All right. of the body, so-called body, appearing in this dream. They all got to go somehow anyway, you know. Some try and hang on to them for so long, it's quite funny. As I say, you so believe you're the body, the illusion one is very fear of dying, of the illusion disappearing, or the body, any of it. But there's no such thing as death, because there's nobody to die in the first place. Isn't it funny? Yeah, it is. Quite a shocker. It was a huge shock here. Paradoxical. Wow, it was quite, yeah. Anyway, the mind did not take that one too well. Couldn't get his head around that one. All right, lovely people. So much love. Please switch off. Stop buying into it. Stop sharing it. Let's call for a day of peace globally. Everybody. Man down, work down, internet down. Together, all together. Come together. Mass peace. Love, prayers, whatever. And stop joining the blame, hate, divide slogans and drag and whatever. If you want. That's, as I say, what do you want to create? Please be very aware of that. And be aware that the internet's being used to create the opposite, but that doesn't mean it's your choice or real. You don't have to even participate in it. Believe it, join it, sign up for it, share it, in that aspect. Okay. There we are. Love, 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 love. Spread that. Okay, share it. Don't hate anyone. Blame anyone. It's very sad now because they always go after the weakest and most vulnerable in society. Always. And that's actually a good sign of how you tell how they treat the poorest, the weakest. That's a very good sign actually of anybody. All right. Lots of love. Bye.